What's up guys, my name is Serge, welcome to my channel. Today we have a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself, dude.
My name's Sebastian.
What's up, Sebastian? So
I'm
tell the
your
world,
cousin.
tell the world about yourself. What do you do? How old are you? How long have you been doing what you're doing?
So, I'm 20. I've been doing what I've been doing for a year.
Okay.
Which is entrepreneurship, online business. I have a YouTube channel. Go check it out. It's Sebastian Ghiorghiu, or you could just type in Sebastian Shopify. You'll see it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not interesting.
So I'll link his channel down below so you guys can actually go watch everything that he actually does, which is Shopify, right?
Shopify.
Yeah, so tell the people who don't know what dropshipping is, give them a short summary of what that is.
Okay, so you want to know about dropshipping?
Yeah.
Okay, so dropshipping is basically when you set up a store, right, an online store, and you put products on these stores, and then you find suppliers across the world in China where you can buy the products cheap, and then you sell them for more on your store. And so when somebody purchases off your store, you go to this website on, the supplier, you buy it cheaper, and then you send it to them, and then keep the money in between.
Dope.
So at a large volume, you could make a lot of money.
All right, so I'm sure you get this question a lot though, for all the skeptics out there on dropshipping.
Yeah.
What would you have to say to them? Saying, oh, dropshipping is too saturated, dropshipping is either just dead, people are catching on to what it really is.
I would call them lazy.
Okay.
Because people that can't seem to figure out dropshipping just haven't done it long enough, I would say. But definitely laziness is what causes skepticism. I mean, skepticism, that's part of humans. Like, that's in humans as a species, right? That's just in our brain. But it's definitely not saturated. There's a lot of people killing it. You're just not good at it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
You haven't been doing it long enough?
Yeah, so go ahead and give us 3 tips as a beginner looking to do this, okay? What, if you could go back and talk to your old self, old Sebi.
Well, I was actually successful pretty fast, but tips as a beginner.
Confidence, that's key.
Tips as a beginner would be to not give up when you fail, because that's when everybody else gives up. This sounds cliche, but it's really true. And also, I just actually gave this advice earlier, but if you fail, as long as you're failing in the right direction, which means you're not failing at the same thing, right? You're not making the same mistake over and over again. As long as you're failing in the right direction, then eventually you will fail so much that you will stop failing, right? You'll find what's working, because you can only do there's only so many different things that you can do that's wrong. And as long as you keep going and you don't give up, then eventually you'll hit something right. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years, but it really doesn't matter how long it takes, because you got into the business for a reason, right?
Right.
So it doesn't matter, you just have to keep going.
Exactly.
That's one, which is huge. Number 2 is don't spend too much time watching. You learn more by going out there and doing it yourself than you will watching somebody. There's obviously, don't get me wrong, there's very important things that you should learn first, so that you're not just an idiot wasting time. So take about a week or 2 weeks and watch a lot of content and spend a lot of time learning about it, and then go and actually start. So don't get stuck in the beginning stages, like they call it, like analysis paralysis, right? Don't get stuck about how to make a logo, all these things that don't matter. Just go, instead of waiting, just go and do it. And then my 3rd tip would be to just pick one thing and to just go full out on it. So I see a lot of people that will start dropshipping for a month or 2, and then they'll go and try something else like Amazon FBA, or they'll try copywriting, or they'll try freelancing or a service, but my advice would be to just pick one and just go full ham, balls to the wall.
There you go. Yeah.
Because then you learn that to the fullest extent, and then you can move on to something else once you have that, fully automated, or whatever you want to do with it.
Right. So are you still currently doing dropshipping?
I'm actually moving out of dropshipping. Right now, in this current second that we're watching this video, technically I'm still dropshipping, because my stores are still getting purchases. Not a lot, but they're still getting purchases. I'm not running ads, but I'm starting another store with someone just purely as an experiment. So technically yes, but I'm getting out of it.
Okay, cool. So what is it that you're going into other than the experiment that you're doing?
Okay, so I'm moving more into more brand stuff, and then more Amazon stuff as well. And I have some other things too that I'm gonna keep a secret. But.
Okay, yeah, no, most definitely. If you guys want to actually stay posted with that, right, go watch his channel and go subscribe to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so other than that, what is it that you see? What is the most common mistake that you see people actually do, just from the beginning, or just as something you see in general?
Probably the most common mistake is being too analytical about everything.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of very pointless, dumb questions, and they're all very similar. Like, just like, hey, how do I make a good logo? Like, what's the difference between a good logo and a bad logo? Or like, hey, I just did my first influencer shout out and I didn't get any sales. Like, these things are just like, you barely did anything and you're just asking so many questions. Like, just keep trying things instead of trying to figure out the right way. I guess that's the biggest mistake that people make, is they try to figure out the perfect way to do it in the beginning, which I'm guilty of this too. Like, they try to figure out the exact way that you should be dropshipping instead of just going and doing it and seeing what happens. Which in that, if you do that process, if you take that path, then eventually you'll find out, your own, I guess, your own way of doing it, which is effective. But people try to find the perfect way, which you won't. As a beginner, you won't find the perfect way. There is no perfect way. There's like hundreds of ways you could do it. But just go and find your way to do it by testing your own strategies based on what people tell you to do.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, guys. So as the saying goes, just fail often, fail forward, and fail fast, right? That's really the best way to actually approach anything, whether it's drop shipping or any business industry that you want to go into, right? So any business advice that you would give to somebody in general, any business advice that you've learned from your experience, whether it's being so successful at such a fast pace, like what advice would you give people?
So just general business advice?
Yeah.
Man, that's a good question. So you want me to be more broad?
Yeah, more broad. Just kind of like for people that are just either afraid, whether it be starting something like, oh, I'm scared of, failing. I'm scared of the risks. I'm scared of all of that, right? Because that's something that everybody just sits there and thinks about. So like the general advice that you would give to somebody.
Okay, for somebody that's like afraid to start, I guess?
Yeah.
Or just anything?
Just anything, yeah.
My advice, ironically, would be to stop looking for advice and to just do it, because I think most people that's where they fail in the beginning, is they don't take action.
Yeah.
So stop looking for advice. Just do it.
So like
that's my advice.
Before drop shipping, what'd you do? Tell the people what you actually did.
So I was a caregiver. So you probably talk about this on your channel, right?
Right, a little bit. Yeah, I haven't touched on the caregiver aspect, but essentially.
Well, you run the businesses.
Yeah.
You're not an actual caregiver.
Right.
So I was a caregiver. So my job would have been to work for him, essentially, actually. And then I was going to do real estate, and then while I was getting my license, I was like, how am I going to make money in the meantime when I'm not selling a house? And then I found dropshipping.
So how come you didn't go through with real estate?
Because I started making too much money.
Okay, yeah. So
it wasn't worth my time anymore.
Okay, so do you ever think you'd be an agent again, or would you rather be an investor?
No, I'll never be an agent. I'll just have people that invest for me, buy houses for me, or just represent me to buy my own houses. I don't know, but I'll never actually sell homes.
Okay.
I don't have reason to, right?
Okay, yeah.
Not if I'm running my businesses.
Yeah. So guys, that is pretty much Sebastian for you guys in a gist. He's just real. Just keeps it. There's no editing. This is all just gonna be one take.
No cuts?
No cuts, man.
All right,
just
there you go.
Straight through. Anything else you want people to know about you?
No. So if you guys are curious about dropshipping, I'd recommend checking out my channel. Go and watch some of the videos, and you could learn a lot. There's a lot of value in there. Like I said, if you want to just recap, basically just if you're looking for one piece of advice or looking for one way to do it, it's not going to happen. My advice is just to stop taking advice and to just go. Don't go to events. Don't buy books. Don't just go. Just do it.
Yeah, guys.
Just run the business.
And that's something I preach all the time on this channel, is just do it. I think so many of us, I'm guilty of it as well, is we overthink. We sit there and we
look for the best way to do it. Yeah.
We try to think of like a perfect scenario or a perfect time to do something, which that's not the case. You just have to do it. And I get it. There's there's probably some of you guys watching that are either serving in the military, or you're in college, or there's just something that's kind of like you have to get out of the way and get done with. But still, guys, go start, and eventually you guys will be successful at whatever it is. And I'm sure you failed, right? Have you ever failed at times?
Of course.
Yeah. So can you talk on one of those experiences?
Well, let's see. I mean, it's just failure. It just doesn't work. I would write down everything I did in a notebook, and there would be days where I lost money, and I'd write it down, and I would figure out why. And there'd be days that I made money, and I'd write it down, and I'd figure out why, and then I could spot the difference. And then the failure would not be as consistent, right? You wouldn't fail as much once you found out why you were failing. So it was never like some huge crazy failure. I didn't lose like an insane amount of money. Not dropshipping, at least. I lost I lost money a different way, but Dropshipping is just minor failures. Maybe you run a couple ads and you don't make money. You test a couple products, see they don't work, something like that.
Yeah.
But just keep going.
Just keep going. Yeah, guys. So to recap, fail, guys. It's not. There's nothing wrong with failing.
Fail forward. Yeah.
Yeah. People do it all the time. It's nothing to be ashamed of. If that's what's holding you guys back from starting anything, I mean, this is probably not for you. Entrepreneurship is probably not for you if you aren't willing to fail. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. But it's a matter of just learning from those mistakes and going forward with it, right? And then, yeah, guys, if you guys want to go watch some of Sebastian's videos and actually want to learn everything that he does, again, his link, or God, I'm gonna have to edit that.
Don't even edit it.
Don't
Keep
even
it
edit
real.
it. Hey, keep it real. Yeah, so it'll be down in the description, guys. I appreciate you guys, every single one of you guys. I appreciate having Sebastian on. This was kind of like on a whim. I just hit him up, said, yo, let me have you on the channel. And he was just like, I'm down.
Let's do it.
Humble guy, for sure. Appreciate him. So,
Only
yeah,
on
guys, thank
YouTube.
you again. If you haven't yet and you've made it this far, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and then go subscribe to Sebastian.
Look
Peace.
how bright I am.
Dude, that's... Bro,
Brighter or less bright?
no, brighter. Guys, should I get some of these lights? I need to get
Yeah,
some.
you should.
I probably should. All right.
They make
Peace,
a big
guys.
difference.